Sorry to keep you waiting. We are exceptionally busy at the moment.
24,000 hours.
In this film, there is a mixture of verbatim recording
And the voices of two disabled performers who also move on screen. Us.
Thank you for being patient, and advisor will answer your call as soon as possible.
It'll be this time next year. Sorry, you could be dead and buried. This time next year, still waiting for an operation or medication to be given to you to make you feel better.
$24,000 hours, that's how long I've been waiting for the pain management at the time. Well, it's now been, the last time I checked, it was over 27,000 hours. They basically saw that my disabilities aren't curable and left me.
My spine rolls against yours.
My feet are firmly planted against the hard wooden floor.
My head dips and rises, catching a glimpse of the sheer white curtains around us.
We are in sync, surrounded by natural soft light.
They're like a little cog in imagine a watch and it's got so many little parts and all them little parts have got to work together in sync to give you the right time, to give you life.
My body melts into the floor.
I feel the weight of my breath.
In my 20s, I started to get disability politics a bit. Found out about social model disability, which a lot of disabled people, it helps in terms of your understanding that you're not at fault. It's society and a whole load of barriers and other things. It's the way society reacts to your difference.
My body moves like the waves.
But the medical model for me is that, I guess it's that there's always a problem that they are trying to solve. It's being looked at as a body part that needs fixing, repairing, put back to normal.
My body feels like it's shifting.
But in a way, I've had to almost reject the medical model of disability because I feel like the medical model of disability is really harmful. I think it's I feel like it creates a lot of stigma, actually.
My body feels rage.
I'm incredibly grateful for free healthcare. As I said, I don't think I'd be alive without free healthcare. But the praxis of it, I'm not so grateful for. And that's what I worry about in terms of we should just be grateful for the NHS that means that there's no space for constructive criticism.
Oh no, it's hard, isn't it? Because I think as disabled people, we have a love-hate relationship with the NHS because we need it in order to live our lives to the max, to live fulfilled lives. We need.
Movement takes over my body.
Our bodies wrap around each other.
I feel like I can fly.
So because I've worked on the wards for so long, if someone's got a language barrier, or if there's someone to you needs sign language, or someone needs some sort of different interpretation, I know because I worked on the wards for 7.5 years. So it's actually it comes with experience knowing what provisions are there. It's only because I worked there for a long time that I know that these things are there.
So both my parents are profoundly deaf British Sign Language users. My mum would request an interpreter. They'd say, "Oh, we can't get an interpreter." But then when I investigated it, actually they didn't even try. But what I realised was actually that the frontline staff, because I pursued it, and I realised that the frontline staff actually hadn't been trained. They didn't know how to actually obtain a sign language interpreter.
But if you're maybe a new nurse, or you know, someone who's new to the trust or new to the wards, or they might not know that they're actually there.
And so a lot of the time I'd be going with my mum, and I'd be sat there, and my mum would be trying to communicate, and then the eyes in the room would then look at me. So I was like, oh, okay, this is now my responsibility.
I was rushed in to A&E after a rugby match. I collapsed, had a seizure, stopped breathing, died. They practically brought me back to life. I was quickly out of hospital and quickly, and then the aftercare didn't really feel like it was maybe there so much. The follow-up care, I definitely feel like a number in a system.
Being told that pain is in my mind and that, that's been my healthcare life story. That narrative has followed me throughout, So yeah, definitely it is the sense that it's a you problem and it's something that you can fix, or you just need to do more, physically, you need to go to the gym, you need to try doing this and blah blah blah, and it's that's not the way it works.
My body feels the highs and lows.
I'm 37 now, and I spent probably the first 35 years of my life not understanding it, being gaslit by medical professionals, being gaslit by friends and family, and just not having a grasp on any of it. And that's sad, because me being neurodivergent or having mental health issues doesn't make me a liar,
When you view the NHS as a system or as a being itself, it knows it's broken. They know it's wrong, and their answer to that is to embrace this idea of wellness and this formalised wellness that is only accessible if you've got a certain standard of living, if your body moves a certain way, if you've got a certain standard of money.
It was such a traumatic hospital experience. I'd requested to have women be the scan because obviously it's all tummy, groin area. It was 2 men, and they ignored me the whole time. It was like I was not there. And one of them was talking about his girlfriend who works there and how jealous she gets whenever he talks to other women. And it was just over me. And it wasn't even the conversation in itself. It was just the feeling of not mattering and being a ghost in the room and just being something to fix and something that is simple and not human at all. And it was such a dehumanizing experience. You they leave the room, they're like, okay, put your clothes back on. You're kind of there, just awkwardly kind of crying to yourself, put your clothes back on, clothes back on, clothes back on, clothes back on.
My head rests in your hands. My body feels safe.
But one thing that I've got to complain about is the tea and coffee they give you in the hospital. When I went in, the doctor said, do you want a cup of tea and coffee? And I went, yeah. And I went, And he went, you've gone green. I said, don't know where you got that tea and coffee from.
My body feels close to you.
But I've also had some really great doctors. I switched GPs, and my current GP is a woman, and she's a woman of colour, and I think there is something to be said about her readiness to believe my pain, and also her taking painful periods seriously.
So I think that actually as human beings, we are attracted to people in similar situations with similar lived experience, to share those experiences in order to try and make more sense of the world, and that's what the community helps with.
And for me, community is about sort of meeting people sort of on a one-to-one level, because time and space, as we know it in the kind of mainstream, is that everything runs quite quickly, and disability time and space is something that is often at a different sort of rhythm.
My body reaches.
I think over the years, it's kind of changed meaning, but in terms of actually not only accepting but living with pride the idea of being disabled, and the way that that has changed my life is that it's given me a lot more freedom and the ability to be a lot kinder to myself, especially in terms of invisible disability. There is this pressure to perform and perform wellness.
And funny enough, I was lying on the gym floor, and I was looking with my eyes open, but everything was blank and grey. Because I'm still thinking, my brain's working, trying to get up and up, and I can't get up. I've done that about 5 or 6 times, and then all I could hear was voices, and I just laid back and I just said to myself, someone's trying to help me here.
My body feels in sync.
And the next thing I woke up, yet again, in the Liverpool Land Chest Hospital. And it was a good job. There was a nurse there that knew me from the operation, and she worked on me.
Wow.
So,
the chances of that.
Yeah, and I still haven't done the lottery.
Our bodies swing together.
My body feels like liquid.
My body is in flow state.
My body is satisfied.
24,000 hours, that's how long I've been waiting for the pain management at the time.
There definitely needs to be reform, but there also needs to be an acknowledgement and accountability for what has happened to deaf people and their children in relation to sort of deaf people's healthcare.
So I think the big question is, what do we do about it? How do we fix it? How do we medical model the medical model? Maybe we're not the thing that needs to be fixed. Maybe the model itself is the thing that needs to be fixed. Maybe we're not the thing that needs to be fixed. Maybe the model itself is the thing that needs to be fixed. Maybe the model itself is the thing that needs to be fixed.
24,000 hours, created by Evan Byrne, director. Rosie Toogood, choreographer. Maisy Gordon, script curator and producer. Tom Oakley, dancer and performer. Kelly Keesing, dancer and performer. Astles, composer. McLoughlin, Dramaturg. Mandy Redvers-Rowe, audio description consultant. Isaiah Bennett Aganu, filming and videography. Access and wellbeing support by Claire Beardraz, wellbeing practitioner. Laura B. Jones, access support. Supported by Arts Council England and Culture Liverpool. With thanks to John Duffy, Ash Cox, Piers Starr, Lawrence Clark, Terry Ann Ingham, Josefina Francilia Bruckman, John Benny, Jean, Lorraine Byrne, Joanne Collins, Amy Milson, George Lomax, Joe Cowan, 20 Stories High, Fact and Katoomba. Created and produced by Tiptree Theatre.